Hello, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the boxing capital of the world. Well, today we have a special guest on the show, something that we normally don't do on a regular basis, but we have 3 guests on the show. It's going to be something very special because we have a young person, I would say a big surprise, a young lady, Jessica. Jessica Price is an amateur fighter. Welcome to the show, and welcome Iran. We call him Padman, and we got Joe Steimer.
That's correct.
From Philadelphia.
Right.
Okay, well, welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks.
Well, it's an honor to have you guys on the show because, being that this is the boxing capital of the world, we want to be talking about nothing but boxing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Now, we're going to start with you, Joe, at the end there. Joe, tell us a little bit about your background. Are you from Philadelphia?
Yeah, I'm from Philadelphia. I fought at Henley's Boys Club years ago. I started fighting when I was in the 7th grade. And I actually got into boxing because I used to wait on the street corner for the trolley car way back a long time ago. And used to get in some fights. They try to steal your lunch. They hit you over the head with an umbrella, things of that nature. So, you had to learn how to defend yourself. And Henley's Boys Club is like right down the street from, they call the L in Philadelphia. And you go up these long steps, and that's sort of where they made that Mickey, the trainer Mickey, who was actually a real trainer years ago. And I don't know how they hooked it up with Rocky, but everybody knows the story of Rocky that boxes. So it was a pretty neat thing. And then, I just got into amateur boxing. I stayed with it for a while, got out of it. I fought at Joe Frazier's gym in Philadelphia, elite place, long time ago. We didn't fight with headgear or anything. We just, you just fought. You learn how to fight, and then you had coaches that would sharpen your, skills and stuff like that at the gym. But it was a good experience, good time. I got a lot of stories. Some I can tell, some I can't. But, over the course of the years, I've been involved in boxing a long, long time, so I'm trying to make this work with this young lady over here, Jessica Price, and I got guy right here, Padman, best Padman in the world right here, everybody. Okay, so and he's a good trainer, too.
Okay, so we're going to go with Padman and Iran McGriff. Tell us a little bit about your background. You've been around with several fighters, known fighters in boxing. You've been in a lot of pad work with them. Tell us a little bit about your background.
My background was martial arts in the beginning.
Okay.
And I started doing that at 9 years old. Taekwondo, Kung Fu, Wing Chun. I learned that from my parents. So it was a blessing to have that opportunity to learn something that kept me out of the streets and out of trouble.
Good.
And I've been pretty successful.
Now, who's some of the fighters you've been working with lately?
Devin Haney was one of my main fighters. I did 3 fights with him, against 2 with Kambosos and 1 with Lomachenko.
So in other words, you helped them get prepared for their fights.
Yes, sir.
Get them ready for their fights.
Yes, sir.
How do you see Devin Haney these days as a fighter?
Still needs fundamental skills. Still have to work on it. Just keep working on it. That's the basic bottom line. If you work on your basic, everything else gets better.
Right, you need to go solid foundation to
solid foundation.
You build from that, right?
Right. You have to stay solid, but you have to have creativity with coaches.
Sure.
Some of the coaches don't have the creativity. You have to have creativity, and you have to have character with boxing, with what you do.
Well, so we got some good trainers out there. Some of the trainers have to be trained themselves. Some trainers get into the gym and they don't know the fundamentals, the basics on boxing.
That's so true. That's why they call me the coach of coaches.
But I'm glad you guys are doing. You guys definitely on the right track. Now we have a young lady, Jessica Price. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit.
So I've been boxing for about 7 years. At first I got into it because I guess I just wanted to try a different workout than just going to the gym and like lifting weights and getting on the treadmill. I thought it kind of got boring after a while. I like doing a sport and I like being competitive. So I tried boxing and then saw some people sparring and fighting, and I thought I want to just give it a try, and it really just changed my life. It really helped me build confidence in myself too, and I'm a completely different person. And so now I'm looking try to get my first pro fight year coming up. I don't know when that's going to be, but so anyways, like I probably been to about, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, or Southern Indiana, but I've probably been to about 3 other gyms there, and you know, I just didn't feel like I've been with like 3 other trainers, and then you know, and then I found him. And then I thought,
this guy from Philly,
yeah,
right?
I thought, you know, like, I think he really knows what he's talking about in boxing. So I just kept training with him, stuck with him, and then we just tried our luck out here. We met some good people here that can help us, and so now we're on our way to do bigger things now. So.
Well, we're very happy that you came here to Las Vegas.
Yes.
You came to the right place to, you know, to get started with your career in the pro ranks. Now tell us a little bit, what made you get into boxing, Jessica?
What made me get into it? Well, so yeah, I thought I just wanted to try a new workout. But I guess whenever I started doing it, I liked how it made me feel. Like, I liked how boxing is, it's all about thinking, you know, it's about, I like the chess game of it.
Were you being bullied at all?
No,
you just got into it because you liked it. You liked the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem like
I wasn't being
very
bullied,
humble
no.
individual, but when you get in the ring, it's a
Yeah.
different game, man.
Yeah, I just found it very enjoyable.
Good.
Just to, you know. So, but yeah, other than that, like, as far as fighting goes, like, I was never an aggressive person, you know.
But in the ring now,
Yeah.
you think like you want to be the aggressor. You want to be.
I guess it brought it out of me.
It brought it out. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how young are you now?
How old am I?
How young are you? No, you're young.
Well, I just had a birthday, but I just turned 30 like a few weeks ago.
Really? You look like a little baby.
She looks like a 15-year-old.
Yeah. I thought you
Don't
were
let that, don't let that
gonna tell me
innocent
16 or
voice, and don't
17.
let that kid you.
Yeah. I
That
thought,
little innocent show knock you out. Don't let that little.
yeah. Okay. Good.
So-
Well, that's
Hell of a
good. You know,
fighter.
it's never too late, like they say.
Yeah.
It's always an opportunity, especially if you got a good trainer on your side, and you got the good conditioning, and you learn the basics and learn the fundamentals about boxing. You get on the right track with the right people, you can make it. I mean,
Exactly.
George Foreman was 45 years old when he became champion again the second
Right.
time.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
30 is still a baby.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so Joe, so tell me now you've been training fighters for a while now, and what's on the horizon for you now?
Well, I have amateurs, I have pros that just got with me. We have our own gym in Jeffersonville, Indiana. So I got some amateurs, some pros, some people that just come. They don't even want to, get in the ring. They just want to get, get their health better and stuff like that. And that's what we do. Because she used to train at Planet Fitness for years, and I met her. She was boxing for 6-7 years. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm looking, we're looking to get her going.
Yeah.
Like I look around, and like I said, she's been in the ring with Heather Hardy in New York. And Heather Hardy loves her. And Hector Roca passed away, was her trainer. Said, "Hey, she fights like I said, she's Philippine. She's not a Mexican, nothing." That's what he goes, "Joe, bring her back anytime." Unfortunately, he passed away. So Heather, after her fight with Serrano, said, "Hey, bring her up. I want to get with her again. She likes her the way she fights." And these guys have never seen her, and they seen her last night. He was working her. I said, "You work her corner. I'm not that spotlight guy. I'm watching what's going on. I know. I'm a smart guy. I've been doing it for a long, long time. I was in the ring with Joe Frazier's nephew years ago. Look, Joe Frazier taught me how to throw a hook. So back then, you had them big old brown bags
Right.
with the duct tape around them.
Right.
And I knocked Joe Frazier's nephew, I guess Bernard, whatever his name was, I'm in there. He said, "Get over here, boy." I said, "Okay." Joe Frazier had hands like leather catcher's mitts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and he hit the bags with no gloves. So I'm going to show you how to throw a proper hook. From that day on, he says, if you need anything, you come upstairs. He had robes. You go up the steps. He had robes and stuff. I didn't have no money. I was a young kid. And he took care of me like ever since that day. So I'll never forget that.
Now, you say boxing, you train fighters. Now, and there's a lot of the trainers today that some of them just come out of nowhere. They get into the gym. They start. Then if somebody's trained how never even fought in their lives, they go into, I call them a gym rat. They go around, they come out of nowhere.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they're always hanging around the gym, and then they come in and they become trainers. You know,
Right.
they don't know some trainers that watch it, they don't know the basics.
Basics are it.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. Everybody's fancy. Look, we never had the phones, never had anything. We never had supplements, right?
Yeah.
Look, you just try to eat right and train, and you get in there and fight. I mean, it's a different game today. And look, I'm not boo-hooing supplement. That helps the guys. It's, you got to live. It's 2023. It's a new era. But like, I'm old school. So when I was yelling at the guys last week, hey, we never had that. You know what I mean?
So in training, as a trainer, you get these young fighters coming out of nowhere. They come for the first time. They come into the gym. What are the first steps you start teaching them to get started?
Well, we handle basics. I let her handle that. Like, she's good with the younger kids. Yeah. Look, I'm an old guy. I don't have that much patience anymore, but I do. But I watch what's going on, and she shows them the basics, and then I jump in there and we start. We hey, everybody wants to jump in the ring and spar when they come in the gym. Everybody, look, you gotta. It's a step. You gotta follow the process.
Today.
It's a process. You gotta follow it. The parents went, hey, I want my kid in the Olympics. No, it's not happening. It will maybe, and everybody. I'm not saying don't live your dream, but it's a process, a step. Everybody wants the next, Mike Tyson. Everybody, it's a process. You know what I mean?
Okay, now we're going to do. I ran the Padman, call him the Padman.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, when you get with these fighters to get in there with you, you start doing the mitts with these fighters. They start working out with you. I mean, is it difficult for these fighters to follow your techniques, your moves when it comes with the pads?
Most definitely, because my type of pad work you'll never see, because I play defense with it constantly. Mm-hmm. You throw a punch, I'm swinging at you constantly, and I pretty much learned that when I was training 5-time world champion Kenny Lunkins. Remember Kenny Lunkins?
Yes.
I trained him for a HBO special, and I learned it then. That was back in early 2000s. So I stuck with it and mastered it. You can drill all day, but if you can fight it on fight mode with your fighter that you're training, it makes him get a better feeling in the ring about defense. Because you're practicing defense. You don't want to just practice offense all the time and slipping and punching, practicing, punching, but you ain't getting away from nothing. You ain't ducking from nothing. So that's what I teach the boys.
Okay, now when you have these fighters, you're teaching these fighters how to throw punches. Some of the fighters, I see a lot of fighters today, they get out there, or they do certain punches, but I don't hardly ever see fighters that they throw a jab, and hook off the jab.
Yeah, I love to hook off the jab.
Yeah, but a lot of fighters don't do that. Why is that?
I know, man, because you know what? Nowadays, creativity is very hard for a lot of the coaches, because all they believe in is offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah,
you can give your 4, you can give your 3 punches, or your 1 and your 2, but you still got to be creative. You got to be able to break a fighter down where they're not so lucky at.
Yeah, a lot of good movement, good
you have
bobbing
to
and
have,
weaving.
You have to have head movement.
Good head movement and good body punches.
You got to be able to jerk it. You can't roll
feint,
it.
And feint it?
Yeah.
And
you got to feint. You got to jerk.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do it. They all want to. Everybody wants to throw arm punch instead of this half of your body is the punch.
Yeah. You show them about bending the knees down a little bit, bending to get down, squat a little bit.
Squatted all the time in this sport.
And come up there.
Yeah.
A lot of come with a lot of body punches. A lot of fighters. All they do is arm punches, which is nothing.
I just said it too.
Yeah. So I mean, the fighters, they're losing a lot of opportunity. They need good trainers to teach them the good basics about how to box, offense and defense. But
I told her, this half of the body goes with this hand, and this half of the body goes with this hand. If you ain't bringing everything, you ain't getting nothing out of it. You just punching to be punching. Mm-hmm. This sport is made to hurt somebody. Hurt, or they be hurt, or you be hurt.
Sometimes a fighter gets cut.
Panics.
Now, sometimes a fighter gets cut while fighting. Sometimes you say, now we got to go to Plan B. Now we got to change the style a little bit.
Yes.
So maybe you got to be turn the southpaw or do something a little different. Yeah. Some fighters have the tendency of dropping their hands out a little too much. They throw the left, and the right hand always goes back. And so they're leaving it here.
Yeah.
They kind of like, and they're always open. So they time it, and they see the opening. You watch these fighters when they're out there training, fighting, you watch every time he throws a jab, he pulls the right hand back. He throws the right hand, the left hand goes down.
Yeah.
You know, and so
We talk about this, don't we?
So this is where a good trainer and like yourself,
Yeah.
you train these fighters. And, to capitalize on that, watch this fighter when they make the mistakes. They throw in the punch, they always seem to drop. They
Yeah.
drop their left hand. So, when the right hand is coming, get ready, to throw your
gotta
right hand
chase.
because he's dropping it.
Yeah. Just gotta chase.
But that's where you go. Good coaches come in.
Yeah.
Do good defense.
I tell them all the time, if you're throwing punches here, not back here.
Right.
You can't play defense. There's no defense here. This is no defense. This is T-Rex. Hands got to be in front of you. You can stop everything here before it gets to your face. Why do you have to have your face in defense? This hurts all the time.
Now, how about the Floyd Mayweather uses the roll? They roll with
I love the roll.
The roll. They love
But you got to do it correctly and know when to do it.
Some fighters don't know how to do that.
Some people just come out.
Yeah.
You can't come out that way.
Right.
You gotta. It has to be a twitch and a jerk.
Right.
That's one thing she has to learn. Twitch and jerk
Now,
is
George
everything.
Foreman used to have his
man.
defense. His defense, but his arms, the way he
Yeah,
closed
with
his
them
arms.
big tree trunks. I mean,
Out here,
Right.
stop you and throw it out there
Yeah.
too. Tap you out there, away from your face.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe in throwing punches away from your body. Only your hands should be close to their body.
Okay, Jessica, going to you now. Jessica, you as a fighter, now you've been around a little bit in the gyms, working out a lot. You've been like 6-7 years in the boxing game. Tell us a little bit about how do you feel when you go in there with these fighters? When you're working out, are you trying to? What are you thinking about when you get in there with a fighter? You trying in there to try to teach them or teach yourself? You try to hurt them or not hurt them? What's your thing in your head? What's going through your head when you're in there sparring?
I think I'm trying to see like how I need to fight this fight. I need to.
That's right.
I don't want to go too hard at first. I don't want to let my guard down either.
You want to see what you can do.
Yeah, I want to see what they're gonna do first. That way, like I know what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's how I feel whenever I'm sparring someone.
And it's always about the game
She
plan
has
too.
good boxing IQ, and these kids don't have it today. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to be smart. It ain't all about slugging and all that kind of stuff.
It's like a little chess game in there. You have to be
And she's
thinking
great at chess. I
before
never
you make
beat her
those
in
moves,
chess.
right?
Pretty much.
You always got to be thinking all the time. Always, not just going to the box. You got to always be thinking. Okay, I got to make this move. If I make this move, I don't see what move they make.
Yeah,
See if I can get them an opening,
exactly.
right? And you time it.
Yeah.
Good.
See how they react to what I do.
I told her.
guess.
I told her to keep it inside the shoulder. Everything inside this shoulder, from here and here. Like everybody's back here. You should be here and skinny, sideways, less of a target. Both hands should be in front of your shoulder. It's taking your whole body away from the punch, where you only get in their body. You got to be able to touch them out here, and not touch them here, close to your face. So you want to be away from your face. Anything coming, you block it early. If you can't, then you close it down.
Jessica, I always felt like in boxing, it's not how hard you can hit, it's how hard you get hit. You keep going forward.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you got to always, you got to have good defense, good offense, but always be thinking, don't say about how I'm going to try to knock out my opponent. Just try to win, right?
Yeah.
Right,
You try to get the win.
right.
If knockout comes, great.
Right.
But you're
Right.
not trying to knock out somebody all the time.
Nah.
But then again, if you get hit, what happens? Do you have the heart?
you
Do you
react,
can you take it and say, okay, I got hit, or I got dropped, I'm gonna get up and keep going forward, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, you gotta think that. You gotta have the mentality thinking that way all the time when you're in that ring, right?
You got to hold your composure.
Is that holding composure? Always be thinking. Don't lose your cool. They say you lose your cool. What happens? You lose the fight because
Right.
when you make. I always say, in life, if you make a mistake out there, most likely you're gonna lose because by making mistakes, let's say you get your opponent to the point where you say, I want to make a mistake to be an open. When it opens, then I go for the kill.
Yeah.
That's what happens in life also. If you make a mistake, you do the wrong things in life, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
So try to do it the right way, but you need a good coach behind the corner. In your corner, you need a good coach in there all the time.
And don't
The
cut corners. Don't cut corners.
The confidence level, all that builds up
Exactly.
with boxing. I know you say you helped all the young folks that come into the gym. The young folks come in there. You tell them how you first started out. You help them out, get them on the right track.
I try.
The discipline, the self-esteem, confidence level, all that builds up, right?
Yes.
Okay, Joe, tell me a little bit about you've been a trainer for a number of years now,
Right.
going back to the 70s. So
Right.
now, as you as an amateur fighter, how do you see boxing today compared to the days when you were fighting?
Well, look, I'm biased. I think back then there was a lot more tough guys.
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
just being straight. So a lot more heart. And today's look, what I'm looking at today, I'm breaking today's fighting down. We don't counterpunch a lot.
It's all technique.
The kids, yeah. I mean, the basic. I look at their techniques and like, why ain't we counterpunching? Their heads laying there, counterpunch it. Like, there's so many openings. You have to think. It's not getting in there and brawling and all. But I think look, you got to roll with the times.
Yeah.
So you have to look. As a coach, I can't be hard headed. You know what I mean, I can't go, hey, you got to be open minded. Plus, you got to be able to relate to your fighters. You know what I mean? You got kids 6, 17, 18, and it's a whole new world of fighting out there. You know what I mean? You have to be able to look. I break everybody down personality. I know each one of my guys, what I can say, what I can't say. I mean, it's psychology. You got to do it in today's fight world. So, I mean, to me, and that's how you get through to them. Otherwise, they're not going to listen to you.
You look back in the day with Sugar Ray Robinson, to me, one of the greatest,
Right.
probably the greatest boxers of
To
all
me,
time,
too.
Right.
of anybody
Best
in boxing,
two-hand puncher in the
including
business.
Ali. I don't
Right.
care who.
Right.
Joe Sugar
Robertson.
Sugar Ray Robinson was like the greatest. I mean, he
me,
could be
too.
back in, going back, hit you with a left foot. He can knock you out going backwards.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys don't capitalize on that today.
They don't even practice.
That's right. I mean, you got to practice
You gotta
going
practice
back. You got to practice
everything.
going backwards and throwing punches as you're going
All the
back.
time.
A lot of fighters don't do that today.
You gotta fight. You gotta learn how to fight going backwards. It's all becomes your mindset. It has to be. It's only developed for one person at a
That's
time.
why when you're in the ring, moving in the ring, and you're practicing in the ring, you're going backwards, throwing punches as you're going back.
Right.
Go up against the rope, throw punches, and
Right.
get out.
Punch off the ropes,
get off the
pivot and
rope.
punch.
Learn
Get,
how to.
pivot off the rope.
Pivot and punch. People pivot. Tell my guys they pivot to get away. Don't pivot to get away.
You can
Pivot and
pivot
punch.
and
That punch
capitalize.
on the angle is the toughest. When you get hit with an angle shot, that's the
man.
one of the.
That's
You
what
don't
you don't
see it.
see.
You're
That's what you're
blindsided.
going to hurt him with.
That's the one that hurts you. And I tell them, don't pivot to get away. Pivot and punch,
capitalize
attack
it.
right away because they're turned this way. I mean, there's little things you can put together. That's why boxing's tough sport.
It is.
Real tough sport, great sport, but you got to learn. There's steps, there's processes, and you got to practice.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to practice.
Sometimes you go into the gym and you can say, okay, somebody says, Joe, what do you think about this fighter? I said, you're going to need a couple of rounds. Now, give me one round. I can watch one round. I can tell you what that kid's got, what he doesn't have. Just one round. Because, when you're in the game long enough, you can
I
you
do
can
the
tell.
same thing with their feet. They say, Coach, what do you watch? I said, I'm watching your feet. I don't care about your hands.
Yeah.
I'm looking where you're going.
Yeah, you see a lot of fighters that throw the right hand punch and the right foot goes up in the air.
Yeah.
And that's wrong.
And then your shoulders like this.
Yeah. And you say, wait a minute. They throw the punch and the right foot goes up. You gotta keep that right
Everything
foot on the
gotta be
canvas.
clean.
Yeah,
I come off the chair. I said, listen, I throw the right hand. You block.
Yeah.
And then you come with the hook. Like, they don't even, what? Like,
When
But,
when I seen Crawford do it to Spence, and he was like,
yeah.
I said, that's what I like to teach.
yeah.
Well, talking about Terrence Crawford,
Your
he's
feet
one,
I think he's the
punch.
best. I
he's
think
one
right
of the
now.
better fighters out there. He's a good thinking fighter. He thinks good on his feet. He has a good
Counter
He
game.
can adjust. Adjustment is so important in boxing.
very
You got some fighters
great
don't know how to
adjuster.
adjust. He can
Yeah.
adjust in the matter like the first round. To me, he lost the first round, but
Yeah.
he was just adjusting. He was figuring his fighter out. He said, "I got him." After the first round, he said, "I got this
He
guy."
dominated.
And
He
after the
shut Spence down.
for the
So
second,
smart.
For the second round out, he took it all.
Since
Yeah.
2016, the guy had 11 knockouts in a row.
Yeah.
Through his fights, his championship fights. So what, you know what I mean? Like, that guy's the
Keep it
best.
going.
Yeah, keep it going. I mean, nobody.
A lot of people saying, Joe, what do you think about this fight? Me, I think like a referee. I like to be neutral, but now that I'm out of boxing as a referee,
Right.
I've been retired now
say
going on
what you
12
wanna
years.
say.
Now I can make some opinions. But people say, Joe, Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence both fought Sean Porter. I said, okay, now Sean Porter won the decision. He won the distance with Earl Spence.
oh,
He won the distance. Terrence Crawford knocked him out.
Knocked him out, like I said,
Yeah.
since 2016, 11 knockouts in a row. The guy's doing something right. Like,
Yeah,
you
so
can't-
I mean,
he's great. He makes adjustments during the fight.
Real quick. He's a good puncher.
I call him managing on the fly. That guy is so smart. They're looking at
I
him on
watched
other
him
ways, and I
train,
say he's
too.
a smart guy.
I was training. I was training Charles Martin for his last fight.
Okay.
And we was training at the Apex Center and Crawford was there. His workouts are incredible.
Yeah.
And he just listens to his coaches. He does what he's supposed to do. And that is the bottom line. That is the key.
It's a discipline that goes with it too, you know.
It does.
I mean, you know,
Goes with
for
it.
him, boxing is boxing 150%.
Yeah.
See?
I feel like coach and fighter should share the same heartbeat.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
well, yeah. Again, like I said, you know, coaches sometimes, like I said, some coaches have to be trained themselves. You need like a. I think some coaches have to be certified to get a license to be a coach.
Yeah.
And not just become a coach. You go to a state, you apply for a license, they give it to you.
Yes.
No,
Right.
you get a license. If I'm a commissioner, you come in my state, you get a license, you got to be certified.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be all over.
All over.
Not because you got 2 lives in your hands. You got
Yep.
the fighters. You got to fight. You got a life in your hand. You train this fighter. You out there to tell him go out there and fight. But are you really certified? You
Yeah.
know when he's
I'm
hurt.
glad I'm a
you know
certified
when
trainer.
to stop the fight.
Certified
I mean,
trainer.
some fighters. I mean, all coaches should be certified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
All
one of them.
coaches.
All coaches,
Should be.
amateurs and
Because you
pros.
got some clowns out there that will get you killed.
That's it.
And it is no lie. And they think they're coaches.
Yeah.
You can't allow that in boxing. If
That's
I was
crazy.
if I was the boxing czar of boxing, believe me, across the board, I make some changes.
Yeah.
I blow everybody away.
Yeah.
But what I would demand from trainers and everybody in boxing, doctors, referees, judges, timekeepers, everybody involved, everybody got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Different states have different rules, and I don't go for that.
like that
Yeah.
It should be uniformity across the board.
Right.
Everybody
Right.
should be the same.
Follow.
Well, I go.
Yeah.
I go through a lot of. I don't know how to say it. I go through a lot of discrepancy because I got the name Pad Man from somebody that was in the UFC years and years and years ago.
Right.
So everybody thinks
Yeah, he's just a pad man, and he's such a smart guy. He's been in with world champions, everything. Like the guys, I just look at the guy when I went to the Top Rank. They said, "Hey," yeah, I said, "I want him." I just watched him. I'll just watch what he does with his people.
Yeah.
And so the guy, besides being a great pad man, he's a smart guy, and he's a great look. Last night I said, "You work her corner.
Yeah.
You work her corner. You know what you're doing. I don't need that. I don't care about that spot. We're
And
just
the
trying to make her
chemistry's
better."
perfect.
And she did.
You know, in boxing,
Chemistry's perfect.
in boxing it's like I said before, it's like a chess game. You have to be thinking before you make the moves, and you
Yes.
always got to be making the
Chess
right
match
moves
first.
You,
Yeah,
you got to
be
be so.
first.
It's so important. You got to
Yeah.
be a good fighter, a good thinking fighter. You know,
Right.
And so what you can go in there crazy. If a guy hits you with a punch, you go crazy. No.
Right.
He hits you with a punch.
Stay
Okay,
calm.
regroup yourself and start thinking. Okay,
Yeah.
I made a mistake. If I got hit, I made a mistake. Let me adjust real quick.
That's right.
That's why Terrence Crawford is so smart.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
He knows how to
Yeah,
adjust.
the guy like me, when I'm coaching, manage on the fly. You got to be able to think for your fighter. They come back, relax them to the corner, sit them down. Don't get all crazy. Everybody's yelling, "Hey, Joe, quit all that. That fighter can't hear you out there anyway 9 times out of 10,
Right,
right?
right,
When they're
right.
out there. Because they're focused on the other person. Bring them to the corner, sit down, relax, talk, see what you see, and then, if you have
Yeah,
a good
because
fighter, they'll listen.
we all know anger has no energy.
No.
That's right. Well, that's why I got these viewers out there listening and watching the show. The reason why I bring these individuals on the show today, because I want you guys out there to learn from the experts out there we have on the show today. This is what we need more of on a regular basis, having seminars like this, so you fans out there can learn a lot about what goes on behind the scenes. I got a call last night. This individual said, "Joe," he says, I've been watching some fights and the referee, that somebody threw in the towel and the referee picked up the towel and threw the towel back out. That was last night. He didn't call me, he texted me, he sent me a text. I said, call me tomorrow morning. So this morning he did call me. And I said, the reason why this happens is because sometimes people think that back in the old days, a towel will come into the ring, the referee automatically stops the fight.
Yeah.
But there's rules now where if somebody throws in a towel, first of all, I got to know who threw the towel in. First of all, that's the chief second. Somebody's in charge of that corner. You either got 3, in some states they allow 4 cornermen, 1 down the bottom and 3 on the top, or 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom. Okay, but who's the chief second? He's the only one authorized to stop the fight besides the referee and the doctor. So if you see a towel comes to fly from behind your back and you're the referee, towel flies in. Who the hell threw the towel in? I don't know who threw it. It could have been a fan who had a bet on the fight.
Right.
He might have thrown the towel.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know who threw in the towel. But here in Nevada, we have a rule where it says, if you want to stop a fight, the inspector comes up with the ring apron with the cornerman, and they wave the towel and they get the attention of the referee, and the referee stops the fight. The referee has to know when to stop the fight. But if you can't just allow to stop a fight when a towel comes flying into the ring. You don't know who threw it in there. And these are things that some fans don't know. There's some certain rules in certain states that they allow a towel to come in, but who threw the towel in? Look at the cards on the
Probably
table,
a
right?
great decision because he didn't know who threw it
Who
in.
threw the towel in? And sometimes they threw the towel in when I was referee, and I picked up the towel, threw it out because again I didn't see who threw the towel in. Or sometimes I felt, wait a minute, this guy wasn't even hurt. Who the hell threw the towel? So,
Right.
so that's why we made the changes with seminars that we had throughout the year.
Yes.
So wait a minute, we have to make sure who's throwing in the towel, who's authorized to throw in the towel. Then Nevada said we'll do it different. We'll come up with the inspector. We'll stop the fight. Let's go up there, get up on the ring apron. We get the attention of the referee. We stop it that way, which makes more sense, you know.
Right. Right.
But anyway, I'll tell you, having you guys on the show today is very special, and our time is up. But I could tell you, fans out there, you viewers watching, it's so special and so important having a panel of experts on the show today, and having Jessica, a fighter who wants to one day become a professional. We're hoping one day you can make it to the top, and I think with your willpower and your smarts, when you're cornering people with you, I think you go all the way. Thank you for being on the show, guys. Thank you so much. And you fans out there, thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much for
us.
joining. Watch us next week. Take care. Have a good night. And keep your guards up at all times. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch them up, guys.
Fair, but I'm firm.
All right. Good luck.
Ever firm.
Take care.